Episode 24, first podcast of the year, 2021. It is January 16th on the calendar. And this is D. McClung, Artra Monologues. Happy New Year. Or as someone told me the other day, I said, what's happy about it? Well, I'm reasonably happy. All things considered. For example, I'm in fairly good health, considering my age. Not really in any pain at the moment. Do have a little bit of crap in my throat. Makes it hard to talk, at least legibly. Is it legibly? Clearly. Understandably. I'm sure you can understand what I'm saying. But at any rate, I have the sinus thing, allergies, whatever. Got the crap in the throat because, it's the time of year, I guess. And besides, irritants in the air. And right now it's kind of rainy. Could be a little bit snowy. Certainly some sleet possible. It's crap. Weather's crap. It's cold. It's crap. Crappy weather. And as everybody knows about me, is the thing is that I don't care for the winter, and I don't care for cold, wet, rainy. I don't like it. But can't do anything about that, can I? So, got to deal with it. Got to live with it. Got to deal with it the best you can. And as my brother likes to say, it is what it is. However, spring is on the way. Probably another, 2 months? It springs in March sometime. And in fact, well, I looked at the calendar, and as it turns out, my calendar's, the one that I created, doesn't have the designated day of spring, first day of spring or whatever. And so I have no idea. And I don't know how that happened, seeing as how spring was supposed to be designated on my calendar that I printed and made into a thing that hang on the wall. One of my projects, making calendars. Right. So, first podcast, I suppose I should say a few words about this election, inauguration, Trump-Biden business. And mention, of course, January the 6th, a day that will live in infamy. That was the day the redneck dumbfucks, terrorist people, just stupid dumbfucks, just like, what would we call it? Invaded the Capitol building. Seriously. I mean, I still can't. Isn't that something that would happen, let's say, in, some third world country somewhere? It's just boggles the mind. Now, am I surprised? I will say I was shocked, but am I surprised? There's all these yahoos up there, Washington. A lot of them that were like, I don't know, I guess you could say Trump supporters or whatever. And they were all up there, and Trump comes out and says, blah, 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 let's walk. Why don't you walk over to the Capitol building? And they did. And I feel kind of bad for Trump, in a sense, in a way, because did he really think they'd do it? I mean, surely he thought they might go over to the building and like stand outside around the building in the yard or something and, you know, chant stupid shit like Trump won the election, which of course he didn't, and some other nasty stupid shit. But did he realize that they were going to actually, you know, break through the barricades and beat up a cop, killing one of them, by the way? It would be murder, I'm guessing. And injuring a few other people, plus cops, plus, I mean, in this case, I have to sympathize with the police. What is it, DC police, and whoever is supposed to be guarding that building and make sure that the riffraff don't come in and cause havoc and hurt people. Anyway, they were sort of like Pearl Harbor, is like, yeah, they're going to come, they're going to drop the bombs, they're going to do the bad things, but, you know, let's just stand down and let them do it. Do you think actually there were people, like police officers, Capitol Police, that were actually guarding the perimeter of the Capitol building, who said, yeah, they're coming, come on in? Really? I hope not. It's possible. Don't know all the facts on that yet. But here's the thing. They went in there, and one of the first videos I saw of that experience was these people in a kind of a hallway, stairway kind of situation, and they were busting out the windows and the doors of the lounge, the congressional place where, I don't know, can't remember exactly what. But anyway, it was doors, and there was some couple of guys on the inside. I think they were wearing suits, looked like, in the video, and they had guns drawn, pointing at the doors, like not far away. I mean, I'm thinking like about 6 feet. And there's barricades, like chairs and shit, piled up in front of the doors, like a barricade. And this woman wearing a backpack and she climbs up onto the window ledge of the door window, like a monkey, you know, with 2 feet and 2 hands on the window frame. I hope there wasn't any glass. I hope she didn't cut her. Well, it doesn't matter. She's dead, because, you know, the guards on the inside who are charged with, you know, protecting the building and the people inside the building, no, shot her. Well, one of them did. And I saw that, and I saw a woman shot, you know, in front of my face in the video. And like, I can imagine what it would have been like to actually been there. I can imagine it being that I was the person that was shot, not that I would be climbing through a window in the building in the first place. I mean, I wouldn't have been in that building because, you know, I'm not a fucking idiot. But still, it's such a waste. This woman, she wasn't that old. 14-year veteran of the Air Force, I think it was. So, you know, trained to kill. Been to a foreign country, invaded foreign country, probably she was in Iraq, as I understand it. And well, that's a war crime right there. So she wasn't completely honorable, but she was. I don't know what she was thinking. I don't know. I have no idea what she was thinking, actually. But she thinking, what did she think was going to happen? When there's a guy with a gun pointing it at you as you're breaking into a building that's guarded by people with guns that, in this case, are pointed at you saying, get back, baby, get back, baby. You know, just idiotic to think that you're not going to get shot. I mean, if she's been in a war zone at any point, she knows what happens when people point guns at you. Good guys or bad guys. And in her case, she's thinking, I'm the good guy, and we've got guns and we're pointing them at the bad guys, which probably aren't bad guys, probably just people defending their country from the invaders, you know, the U.S. Army, the military. And yeah, war criminals, violating international law by invading a foreign country like that. I'm sorry, that's true. That's not fake news or any damn thing. That's the truth. Not even debatable. You know, it's like the world is round. That's a fact. So, if you can't handle that, then, you know, there's something wrong with your brain. I'm sorry, but just ridiculous. Do you catch my meaning? You understand? You can't go to foreign countries. It's against the law. You can't go there, drop bombs on them people, those people, and shoot them and shit, and sniper them. That's a crime, international crime. An American, you know, in America, it's a crime to murder people. You just don't do that shit. I mean, for example, there's a charter called the UN Charter, and I don't give a shit if you like the UN or not. You know, fuck you if you don't understand that concept. But there's a charter, and we belong to that organization, and we signed a charter, meaning we meaning the United States government, representing us, signed a charter saying that we wouldn't invade a foreign country, and we wouldn't shoot those people and murder them and drop bombs on them, because that would be a crime. If we did that, it's not only unethical, I won't say immoral, because immoral is like a Christian. They took over that word and just kind of screwed that all to hell. It doesn't mean anything anymore. But basically it means we're Christians, we're better than you, and we're telling you how to live your life. You know, I mean, it's immoral because, you know, I'm a Christian, and I believe in stupid shit, and I'm saying so. You know? Anyway, forget that. So anyway, it's unethical to do that. And the United States has done that, like, let me think, about 250 times in the past couple hundred years. A crime. Of course, the UN didn't exist back then, but same principle. Don't invade foreign countries and murder the people that live there. Now, if that country has declared war on you and is, you know, sending planes and boats and soldiers and shit over your country and dropping bombs on you, then, you know, self-defense and all that shit. And then, you know, you could go there and say, you know, hey, stop doing that or we're going to shoot you. But that's not the case, because as far as I know, no Vietnamese, going back to the Vietnam War, those people didn't have ships and airplanes, battles. They were just peasants, mostly. So let's go to Vietnam and murder some people. And the American government drafted some people, which they tried to draft me about 3 times, and I said, fuck no, I'm not stupid, I'm not going to, number one, I'm not going to, you know, commit a crime. I go over there in a country I don't even know, it's never hurt me, and nobody else in America as far as I know, and I'm not going to go over there and murder those people. It's not going to happen. And they said, well, you can go to jail. And I said, fuck you, come and get me, motherfucker. And I actually said something to that effect to the draft board that said, petition for conscientious objector denied. And I said, well, fuck you, I'm out of here. And then they said, well, come and arrest you. And I said, okay, you know where I live. I'll be waiting. Click, click. You know, guns ready. Send someone you don't like, motherfucker. Because I will defend myself. And when I say that, I've never had necessity of killing anyone or shooting anyone or anything. I'm just not that kind of, I'm not a violent person by nature, and I'm just not going to go around saying things like, I'll kill you, it's just not very becoming, and I just don't want to be that kind of person. But, and I'm certainly not going to say, well, I'm going to keep my gun, and then, the government is going to, like, blah, 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 take my rights and shit, and I'm going to have to go to Washington, D.C. and break into a building and maybe kidnap some senators and maybe kill them or something. I mean, really? Those people are insane. Seriously, insane. Those kind of people who are insane should not have guns. Now, the Second Amendment doesn't have any meaning to me. That's just a law that the government has to obey, which of course they haven't, because there's I heard somewhere that there's over 60,000 laws in America having to do with guns, and every single one of them is unconstitutional because it says shall not be infringed, which if you want to, translate that, means no fucking laws. Yeah, none. Zip. Which leads me to the Supreme Court has had opportunities after opportunities for freaking 200 years now to actually come out and say, unanimously, all 9 judges say with one voice, shut up, be infringed means no laws. And therefore, every law in this country that, infringes upon the rights of people to keep and bear arms is invalid and is now hereby repealed forever and ever as of this minute. But they didn't do that. So that's why I say the Supreme Court is a farce. Because it's their job to look at the Constitution, and they should know it by heart if they're a Supreme Court judge, and say, let me think what it says there. The right of the people, the right of the people, the right of the people shall not be infringed. That means the right. The Second Amendment says the right to keep and bear arms, which means the right to self-defense, the right to have a gun and protect yourself and your family and your freedom and your rights. That doesn't mean you take a gun to Washington, D.C. and break into the congressional building, with the intentions of doing bodily harm to people. Because that's insane. And it doesn't have anything to do with the Second Amendment. What that has to do with is, if your family doesn't think you're insane, if they know you want to go to Washington, D.C. with a gun, and that you might actually break into the Senate or the congressional building, and they let you go, they're as fucking insane as you are. Seriously. My idea of gun control, when we're talking about actual gun control, is when your family and your friends, your neighbors, have a pretty good idea from your behavior and the things you say and the things you do, the way you behave, that probably you're not fit to have a gun. And I'm not talking about these, what do they call them, the red flag laws. They come up with that nonsense, which is just another anti-gun illegal thing. Since the Constitution says the government can't make those laws. But that doesn't mean that we as human beings are just going to sit back and say, hey, my husband, my son, my father, he took his gun and he went off to Washington and he might shoot somebody. And we're just going to let him do it. And if you're just totally dedicated to that craziness, then you might even go with him. Hey, I'm here and I got my AK-15, 40, whatever the fuck it is. And I got my kids and I got my wife and, my next door neighbors and shit. And we got a flag, on my, like a fucking cape on my back. American flag. Yeah, well, it's not the American flag. It's the United States Government Union flag. And everybody knows that, unless you're like ignorant. Apparently nobody went to school in this country ever. So, and you let your father, brother, son, mother, sister, like that woman that was in there and got shot, trying to climb through a window that she wasn't supposed to be climbing through. That she was warned, like, don't come in through that window. We will fucking shoot you. Now, I don't want to suggest that the woman's not patriotic, wasn't patriotic or anything. She might have been a little bit, kind of, but I'm not going to get into patriotism right now. But that's like nationalism, which means, I love my government. It's wrong. But anyway, her family should have said, no, sweetheart, you're not going to do that. You're not going to climb through the window. You're not going to go there. You're not going to break in the building. No, you're not. Because we're not going to let you. You're insane if you think you're going to go there and do that. No, you're not. We're going to stop you. And if you have a gun and you take that with you, you've been in the Air Force, you know better. That's not patriotic. If you're in the Air Force and you're going to attack the government that you work for, I think your parents and friends and family and whatever would know and understand the concept of the girl is crazy. That's fuck. We're not going to let her do that. Yeah. Oh, it's freedom. No, it's responsibility. Be responsible for your family. Be responsible for your dad. Like, Dad, we're responsible for you. I mean, we care about you and we love you and we don't want you to go to Washington and get killed. Or, get arrested and charged with, like, insurgencies or terrorism or whatever the fuck. So, no, Dad, you're not going. And we're going to take your gun away from you because you're dangerous. You might hurt somebody, including yourself or some innocent person. That's gun control. That's where people are responsible. That's where a person who says, I got to have my gun because I'm going to go in there to Washington. I'm going to break into the building and I'm going to shoot me a senator or a vice president or some damn thing because he betrayed the president, my loving, supreme leader. Like, that man's insane. And so you should probably not let them have a gun. Your family, your friends, your neighbors. I didn't say the government. I said the people that are in your life. The people that are responsible to you and people that you are responsible to. I mean, look at it this way. If you've got a child, and and by the way, a child is like under 10 or 12 or so. I mean, if you're like all right, okay, I'm going to say it. If you're a person and you're a girl and you have boobs and you have some hair going around your vagina and you bleed once a month, you're not a child. This is not debatable. That is a biological fucking fact. Not arguing about that ever with anybody, because that's it. Last word. Truth. Not your truth. It's your truth. No, it's the truth. The only truth. There is no other truth. It's sort of like 2 and 2 equals 4. Truth. There is no case scenario where 2 and 2 equals something else besides 4. I know computers have zeros and twos. Forget that. That's irrelevant. It's a totally different thing. All right? The sky is up. I don't care if you're standing on your head with your head in the muck, in a cesspool of quicksand, in the toilet, whatever, and your feet are sticking up. You know, the sky is still up. Because the sky is up regardless of you, and whether you're up or down or laying down or standing on your head with your head stuck in a fucking cesspool, or whether you're, you know, or you're eating out your girlfriend's pussy, or whatever, you're still, the sky's still up, always. Because that's the definition of the word up, that way. You can't see me, but I'm pointing up. And if you're standing on your head and your arms are down that way, then your hands are going to have to point up, which might be toward your feet if you're standing on your head. You understand what I'm saying? Biological fact. Why would anybody even think about arguing about that? That would be insane. All right. So here we are. We got these people went there. They're going to get arrested. They're going to get in trouble. I mean, they're in a shitload of trouble because they did something they shouldn't have done. Sorry, but they shouldn't have. Now, the question is, did Donald Trump incite a riot? There's a lot of people out there making judgment calls on that. Yes, he did. No, he didn't. Yes, he did. No, he didn't. All right, here's the thing. He said stuff. Should have just kept his mouth shut, stayed in the White House until like next week, you know, until like the 20th, and then, you know, moving out of there. Because that's what a sane person would have been doing instead of, you know, going out on the street and, you know, egging his lunatic supporters onward towards, you know, total destruction of themselves. Which leads me to think Donald Trump is insane. Don't give that man a gun. No, you can't have one. And I don't mean the government shouldn't tell him he shouldn't have a gun, because, you know, the government hasn't got the power or authority to do that, since the Second Amendment says, no, you can't. So, you know, Melania Trump should say to her husband, yeah, you can't have a gun, my dear, because you're a narcissistic lunatic and you might hurt somebody. So, no, you're not having a gun. And Barron's not going to have a gun either, because he's our kid and we love him and we don't want him to get crazy and hurt somebody. You follow me? So, here's my view. Donald Trump said stuff. They got all excited and thought it would be okay to go to the Capitol building and do bad shit. Now, not everybody standing out there listening to him went over to the Capitol building and did stupid shit. Those people were, let's just call them collateral damage. The fact that they were all there, supposedly, as supporters of this Donald Trump lunatic, well, it tells me something. They should probably not have guns either, because they're like fucking lunatics. Like their dear leader. Seeing as how he lost the election. Oh, massive fraud. No. Proven fact. No. Zero. No. There was some fraud. There was some voter problems going on, irregularities. Yes. A few. Like in this one case, there was like 19 cases. There was like, in one case, two cases of something where, you know, a guy filled out 2 forms or some damn thing to mail it in. Because I kind of remember Donald Trump saying something about his supporters, like, fill out 2 mail-in votes and send them both in. Wait a minute. Nobody's mentioned that lately. If I remember that correctly, he said that. And if he said that, I think I heard him say that. And if he actually said that, that's a crime. He's telling people to commit a crime. Voter fraud is what it is. You know, it's just, It's insane. The whole fucking world's gone crazy. Millions of people in this country are fucking batshit crazy. I'm sorry, but you are. That's like, the definition is, batshit crazy is, that guy. Sorry, but it's just true. All right. So what have we done? We covered the batshit crazies, the criminals that broke into the Capitol building, the poor woman that got shot and who is now dead because she was an idiot. Responsibilities, lunatic Trump. And if you don't think he's a lunatic, there's something wrong with your brain. I mean, there is enough evidence to support my conclusion. And if you don't want to accept that you're just another lunatic. I mean, you have no credibility, so don't be telling me shit, because I want to hear your dumb conspiracy theory stupidity. It's just silly. And another thing I've heard here is this thing about pedophiles. Okay, one, you don't know what the word means. Don't say it. You don't know what it means. Don't use the word. And you don't if you think pedophiles have anything to do with teenagers. Because they're not children. This is also a biological fact, not debatable. Pizzagate, I've read enough on that, research on that already, to know for a fact that Pizzagate has been debunked. No facts involved, no truth to it, none, zip, zero, zilch, nada. So if you want to keep talking about Pizzagate, you're a fucking idiot. I'm sorry to tell you, but you shouldn't be allowed around sane people. You're nuts. That shit's crazy. Not true. Like I said, children. Those are prepubescents. People who have not got, like girls who do not have boobs, do not have hair around your vagina. I know they shave it off nowadays at God knows what age. Probably 12-year-olds are shaving their vaginas off now. I don't know. Whatever. It's a trend. Could be a fad, a fashion statement, whatever. I mean, who's going to know unless you show it to them? Yeah. What 12-year-old girl or 14-year-old girl or even 10-year-old girl is going to be walking around saying, look at my vagina. Hey, my pussy. No hair. I shaved it off. Who? Now, some 14-year-old girl has a boyfriend and says, I love him. Yeah, you want to see my pussy? That's her business. Not yours. Hers. Just hers. Nobody else's. Because everybody has the right to own their own body and do what they fucking want. As long as you don't hurt someone else. Like violate their rights. Free speech, the right to marry. Oh, by the way, marriage is a human right. It has nothing to do with the government. And if the government thinks, state marriage, the only way to get married. Wrong. That's not marriage. It's a fraudulent government program. A program like food stamps. You join it or you don't. It doesn't have anything to do with you. It has nothing to do with marriage. You don't even, it's just stupid. Don't even go there. So what I'm saying is, if you, forgot. Hold on. All right. How many times? What? Thousands of times now. Don't say the word pedophile. You don't know what it means. Shut up about it. And number one. Number two, it's none of your fucking business what other people do. And it doesn't make any sense to me that someone would call someone a pedophile. Why? Were they trying to trigger me when they call me that? Since I'm not? I'm not. That's a declaration of fact. I am not. And you know, I wish, I really do wish that I could actually be in the physical presence of someone calling me that. I would slap the fucking shit out of them. You know, don't ever say that to me again, you little fuck. Now that's physical violence, and I probably shouldn't be saying things like that. You know, you deserve it because it's just wrong. Secondly, even if I am a pedophile, which I'm not, but if I was, or is, none of your fucking business. And it doesn't have anything to do with teenagers. Because children are not teenagers. Children are like, you know, prepubescent. You know, before the girls start to bleed and before the boys start to, you know, get cum out of their dick. Although it's a proven fact that boys can have a hard-on at the age of 4. Not going to get any cum out of there. Anyway, biological fact. So, I say this, I don't even know how many times not every day, but often. You're a pedophile. You're a child molester. You ought to die. We ought to chop you up into pieces. You know, whatever. And of course, they're wrong because I'm not. And secondly, they're being hateful, disgusting, ignorant, stupid fucks for even being violent towards something they don't even understand. It's just wrong. Let's just call it unethical. And it just boggles my mind that anybody can be that fucking stupid. Seriously, it's just fucking stupid. And you know, a lot of these people that claim to me, I want freedom, trying to take away my freedom. I got rights, damn it. And then they turn around and say something stupid like, those people shouldn't be allowed to live. Or, those people shouldn't be doing that or get away. They shouldn't do that. In other words, you know, like abortion, for example, which, by the way, is a medical procedure, is perfectly legal, and everybody is trying to put Planned Parenthood out of business should be like, you know, locked up in jail for interfering with freedom or something. They're idiots. They belong in a mental institution. Yeah. So, that's just silly. Abortion. We believe in freedom. We want freedom. You're taking away our rights. And stop those people from having abortions. Huh? In other words, I want my freedom, but I'm going to tell you what to do. You catch my drift? You understand what I'm saying? I want freedom of speech, but I want those damn socialists to shut up. Really? Hypocrisy. Total, complete fucking hypocrisy. And it's wrong. And you know it. Or if you don't know it, you're a fucking retard. Oh, by the way, you can't say retard because that's like, you know, not nice. Politically correct. Huh? Fuck you. I don't do that. Politically correct is wrong. That's not to say I don't believe people should be nice. Should be nice. Hating the people is wrong. So let's wrap it up here for this time. The problem, as I see it, All right, let's wrap this up again, as I said. So let's get this straight. Donald Trump lost. Case closed. Donald Trump lost. Case closed. Move on. All right. Whether Donald Trump actually told his people to go to the Congress building and riot and vandalize and threaten people's lives and shit or not, he's responsible because he said stuff and they said, oh yeah, let's do stuff. So he's responsible because if he hadn't said anything, if he had just been a nice guy and hadn't been such an asshole, they wouldn't have been there in the first place, and they wouldn't have been listening to him, and they wouldn't have been going there in the first place, because they're idiots and they followed an idiot. So he's responsible. If he hadn't spent the last 4 or 5 years being an idiot and doing idiotic things, then, we wouldn't be in this situation. Understand? That's my word on that. Now, I hope I didn't ramble on different things, totally mayhem here. With a little this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this. It's all tied in to some degree. So I think I covered it fairly well as far as the January 6th deal and Trump lunatics and things like that. So that's it for this time. I'll be back soon. Thanks for listening. And share my podcast with your friends and neighbors. I think they'll find it interesting. And if you get mad at what I said, fuck you. D. McClung, Art to Monologue, signing off.